needed to catch up, so it worked
And we
out.
caught up. So.
There's that.
I'm sorry.
I don't blame you. I blame the DM. It's not your fault.
I was a little bit. There we go. I was a few seconds behind. All right.
Oh yeah, that's the way we were.
Yeah. Including today, you have 2 days remaining in this month's field study. However, we won't be assigning you any tasks during that time. Instead, you'll be participating in a series of special lectures and a field trip.
A field trip? Here?
So what exactly does that entail, instructor?
At 1400 hours today, a joint military exercise will be taking place at Guerrilla's Proving Ground. The 4th and 5th Armored Divisions will both be participating, and you will be observing it. We're gonna watch a military exercise? The 4th Armored Division, huh?
The 4th Armored Division is led by none other than Elliot's dad, Lieutenant General Olaf Craig. By all accounts, it's one of the strongest armored divisions in the Imperial Army. And did you know our friend the Major here is their most promising young member? It's true.
Moving on. As I said, you'll only be observing this exercise, not actively participating. I imagine that has some of you feeling rather relieved, doesn't it? It does sound like a pretty easy assignment after all. But we'll see how many of you feel the same after experiencing it for yourselves. That's all from me. It's currently 11:50 hours. Lunch has been prepared for you in the mess hall. I'd advise you all to eat. Your field trip isn't something to be undertaken on an empty stomach.
Right, sir. He said to eat. I'm going to get food then. All right. Thank you, sir.
So, this food.
We have salty corned beef, and I think I'm getting a hint of peas from this soup.
You could use this bread as a lethal projectile.
I do think it wouldn't have hurt to use a few more herbs, or flavors in general.
Calling this edible would be generous. I've heard plenty of rumors about the food they serve in the Imperial Army, but I wouldn't have guessed they'd all be true.
Oh? I think the food they served at the mess hall at Zender Gate was all that bad, though.
I don't think it would kill them to serve something a little more appetizing.
It might.
You never know.
This is the exact same thing they served when I came here with my class last year. Probably from the same batch, too. The look of it. Really brings back memories.
I was pretty surprised the first time my dad brought me here to eat, too.
Huh? You guys really think it's that bad?
It really brings back memories for me, too.
At least there's some cheese and apple.
The food served in the army makes use of common ingredients that are easy to preserve and store. Ingredients used to make all the food on your trays can be easily stockpiled in large quantities. So even if a war were to break out, a meal like this could still be served without any trouble. Ah, so that explains it.
I see.
So the army serves simple foods all the time to avoid the decrease in morale from wartime rationing? Well, not all the time. However, one can think of this food as a philosophical statement from the continent's strongest army. In the sense that it suggests the soldiers should live and work each day as though a war effort depends on them.
Every day?
So they should be just as tense during times of peace as during times of war. Well, it's a bit too much mind over matter idealism for my taste, but it's worth being aware of. And to throw a different perspective in the mix here, the food the provincial armies serve is actually pretty good. Good enough that you can't help but wonder how they'd cope if an actual war were ever to break out.
Well, it's not like serving good food means you have a crappy army.
I hear our neighbor Liberal serves up some pretty tasty food in their army. Liberal's army is fairly elite.
I wonder why.
Probably because the threat of being neighbors to the Empire keeps them tense.
You know, they're also run by Brigadier General Cassius Bright and
Cassie's right's got good taste in food.
General Morgan.
Oh, I'm sure that someone's going to mention Cassius Bright here within a few seconds. Maybe not.
I feel a little conflicted hearing you say that.
Well, these things are all about finding a good balance. Variety is the spice of life, you know. If you eat nothing but dull, bland food all the time, well, you know what they say, you are what you eat.
I could do with fewer of your pithy remarks in my diet, Instructor Valentine.
Anyway, as you heard, there's going to be a military exercise at the proving ground at 2 in the afternoon today. It's 12:30 right now, so you have an hour to do whatever you like. They'll make an announcement half an hour before, so be sure to listen for it and do whatever it tells you.
Understood.
So when you say whatever we like, does that mean we can tour the fortress?
Of course. You're welcome to roam around as long as you don't poke your nose into any restricted areas. So go ahead and explore. There's plenty worth seeing here, like the command center. Though if you're feeling a little tired from your field studies so far, you're welcome to rest in your rooms.
It would be a shame to waste such a valuable opportunity.
Machias is still chewing his bread from earlier.
Yep.
I suppose I should at least get a general overview of the fortress.
Actually, stuck some eclairs because the food there was so bad. I stuck some eclairs in.
And now we have
I
to
just
go
like the idea
around.
that he was just chewing on the bread and it just took forever because it was so hard. He was like, ow, ow, ow.
Oh, are you taking a rest, Emma?
I did take a short walk around, but everything around this fortress is so imposing. It made me feel a little faint.
I feel you there. Look at Emma now. It's hard to believe she's the same person who almost single-handedly guided us through that castle.
Reen?
Nah, never mind. There is one thing that's been bugging me lately. Ever since we arrived in Legram, I feel like just out of the corner of my eye, I catch glimpses of the small black shadow following us. But ever since we got to the fortress, I haven't seen it.
Really? Maybe you were possessed by something.
Possessed? Yikes. That's kind of an unsettling thought.
It is, isn't it? I'm glad I told her to go back to when we reached Celtic.
Suspicious.
Suspicious.
I'm sorry, D. I'm just apparently going to all your characters first.
You know, my voice is better, but it's not perfect.
I'm not trying to pick your characters. It just keeps happening.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, Tova gave me a call about what happened in the Gram. So you had a mechanical monster show up outside the city limits?
Yeah, Tofal looked pretty concerned when we first mentioned it to him, too. You know anything about them?
Well, I'm no stranger to the group that makes them. They go by the name Ouroboros. They're a secret society of sorts that acts in the shadows all across the continent.
A secret society?
We don't know how many members there are, what they're capable of. Honestly, we don't know much about them at all.
Accurate.
What we do know is that they have access to technology more advanced than the most cutting-edge research institutes. And that they've been behind several crises that have threatened to shake the foundation of the entire nation-states.
And these are the people who made those monsters? If I hadn't seen it with my own eyes, I'd... Oh, hold on. Sorry. I got the hiccup there for a second.
Apparently he found that hot to swallow before he said the words.
Oh. Yeah, I just all of a sudden had, like, hiccup there. Ugh. If I hadn't seen it with my own eyes, I'd have find it hard to swallow, but there's no denying what we saw out there.
Huh. Well, you don't need to come to grips with it just yet. We call the mechanical monsters like the ones you guys fought archaisms. And lately, it seems like an awful lot of them have made their way onto the black market. There's been one sighting after another these days, all over the Empire and beyond.
Wow, that's heavy. Does this mean there's a chance they might be plotting something here in Erebonia? Just in your opinion, I mean.
Well, that's the tricky thing about them. It doesn't necessarily mean that at all. There have been cases where we know they put archaisms out into the wild purely to test their abilities, for example. Still, it's something to keep in the back of your mind, at least.
Right. I'll be sure to let the others know, too.
Exposition. Oh my god.
Let's see if I end up...
Don't worry, guys. I'll tie us back into the previous
Nope.
series real
Nope,
quick with
I'll-
Sarah.
You saw that. You
Nope.
saw that.
Nope, I saw nothing. You can't...
Go back over to the character and talk to them.
I will, but I'm going to talk to these two first. Alright, who wants to be Walter?
Wasn't there another Walter we had before? Wasn't he the guy with the legs? Or was that somebody else?
The
Hold.
guy with the legs?
Wait,
The
He
guy
has
that
legs,
was-
yes.
hold. Sorry.
Is
he's
this back
We're-
during? Was this back
it?
with?
No, sorry, that was Wayne. I apologize. Other W name. Okay.
Can I do Wayne's voice for this guy? Is Wayne the one where it's like, oh my leg? That guy?
Yeah, the cramps. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm doing cramps for this one.
Okay.
We have
So
Gramps
you're
from
the
Xander and Cramps from Mira. Got it.
So you're the students who have come to tour the fortress.
He does kind of look like his face is scrunched up like he has a cramp.
That's what I thought about the other guy.
Look, I've got shin splints, guys. I'd rather not talk that much.
Yes, sir. He's wearing an officer's uniform. I wonder if he's...
Okay. Is
This
he okay?
is
We're
Lieutenant
not sure.
General Walter, commander of Guerrilla Fortress. He also serves as a division commander for the 5th Armored Division, which is stationed here. Ah, I apologize for not greeting you sooner, sir. Thank you for granting us the opportunity to tour the fortress. It really is an honor.
Well, at least you aren't lacking in manners. Hardly built like a soldier, though. I have my doubts that you'd be able to endure the military's training regimen with a physique like that.
Sir, it sounds like you can't endure the military's training regimen.
It's because of our training regimen that I'm like this. Thank you very much. You sure you're training them properly, Major?
My apologies, sir.
Though I hear the Academy has a former bracer as their combat instructor, they must really be scraping the bottom. I've heard the purple lightning before. Of course! but a bracer is still a bracer. Leaving such an important role in the hands of a civilian is ridiculous. The famous Thor's isn't what it used to be.
Don't hurt yourself. You sound like you're
is
gonna have
great.
a cramp by the end of this.
This is great. I'm having fun.
Well, no surprises here. It's like he fills in every checkbox. Every box on the checklist for stereotypical Imperial Army soldier.
Anyway, as Fortress Commander, allow me to welcome you to Guerrilla. Keep in mind, though, that we're constantly on alert for potential threats from the east. I have no problem with your class conducting your field study here, but see that you don't get in the way of...
Of course, sir.
Very well. I'll take my leave here as I have business to attend to.
Like stretching out your calves.
Or going to the bathroom. He may be constipated. I'm not sure
Getting
which.
Might
foam
be
roller
constipated.
versions.
Who knows? Well, that was fun.
Phew. He's certainly strict. Well, he is responsible for keeping one of the Empire's most vital defensive fortifications running smoothly. Considering the ongoing tensions between the Empire and the Republic, you should be grateful he allowed you to come at all. I won't forget it. Now, I'm afraid I must excuse myself as well. You're welcome to tour the rest of the fortress, but don't try to enter the command center. Of course. Good luck with your work, Instructor. I'll see you later, then.
But the command center.
But the command center. Sarah told me to go check out the command center. Sarah did say to check out the command center.
It's supposed to be really cool.
The soldiers here seem pretty well trained. Pretty well equipped, too, like you'd expect from the Empire's biggest fortress. You need to put in some serious prep time if you wanted to topple it.
Fee, I'm not sure that's something you should say within earshot of the soldiers.
Old habits die hard. Also, I just want to point out, tonight I rolled 4 nat 1s in a row.
Oof.
Yeah, Ken told me that.
I heard about the fortress from my father, but seeing it in person really drives home its incredible scale.
Oh,
Oh yeah, your father helps train the Imperial Army in swordsmanship, doesn't he? I can see why he's so busy. He's going around training all the soldiers in places this massive.
Sorry, I heard an odd noise, and I'm not sure where it's coming from.
that was me. I yawned.
No, it was something outside of my house.
Oh,
Oh, that's not good.
That was also
it's a
Mira.
skinwalker.
Yeah.
It was also Mira. She
Those
was
are
outside
two
your house.
very different answers to that question.
It's a skinwalker.
Or it's the same answer. Ooh.
Oh my
Dun,
god.
dun.
Can-
Oh!
D&D Wiki, I need
Make
you
sure
to
real quick.
load for me. Anyways, sorry. D.
I think she went to go check and see what the noise was.
Oh.
So what comes back may not actually be D.
Listen.
What level? DM. Level 7. What's
Proficiency level 7 should be 3.
So.
No,
alright,
let's
so
see. Yeah, you start
It
at.
is.
Yeah, because you start at 2. You get 3 at
think it's
5.
Then 4
4
at
at
8.
10.
4 at
I think it's
10?
every 10. No, it's at 8. It's at 8. It's 5, 8,
Quincy's chewing a bone.
1317, I think, is how it is.
Great. Okay.
I want to make sure it wasn't on chewing on like a table leg or something. No, it's a bone. We're good.
Yeah, that would be bad.
He doesn't usually chew table legs, but he gets like really close to him, so I want to make sure he was like, by accident hitting the table leg. So anyway, indeed, I feel like the reality of that is finally sinking in for me as well. I have no idea how his teachings are actually being applied, though. Perhaps we'll have the opportunity to find out during today's military training exercise. I'm looking forward to it.
I think it's this way. Nobody here.
Discord's doing that thing again where the frames are dying, but the stream's fine.
Better?
So far.
Yeah, it's okay.
Seems like it seems like this is the hangar for tanks and armored cars. It's kind of staggering to see so many of them lined up in one place. Is that called a hangar? I would call that a garage more than a hangar. I'm not looking forward to this. You've never seen any military exercises before, right, Reen? Yeah, this'll be my first time. Ticket you have then? Yeah, my dad showed me one of the last time he brought me out here. He really does want me to join the military, but I really don't think I'll ever be suited for it the way he is. I get where you're coming from. The more I hear about his dad, the more curious I get.
I'm not entirely sure how to feel seeing so many oxens lined up like this.
Yeah, oxen.
Oxens, I think that's how it's pronounced.
Okay. I was sitting there like,
Oxens.
I really
Oxens.
don't think
Do
that
it.
that's ever pronounced, so...
I feel like Oxens is pretty good for the universe here. So yeah.
The Rhineford company makes these, don't they?
Unfortunately so. I'm sure they'll be using them for this military exercise too. As far as I can tell, they'll be pitted against the older automated models.
That sounds pretty brutal. The older tanks won't stand a chance.
Well, that's kind of the point. They want to show off just how easily the Oxens can dominate them. Well, you don't get the chance to go eyes on with this stuff every day. I'll take the opportunity to see for myself just how competent they are.
That's just like her. I'm like looking at where these people are because they're
She's trying to patrol, or he's trying, I can't see it, but yeah.
A person.
You blocked their pathway.
Yep,
yeah,
and
we're still doing things.
the AI is not
It's still lagging on Discord.
all right. We'll do that then. Looks like this is the fortress's airport. Might come a day when I find myself in a military airship. I don't know if there's anybody out here though. Instructions
Still
were
bad.
very unclear in this
There was 2 red people up there when you were
Mm-hmm.
on your
Where?
mini map. There was 2 red on the outside to your left.
How can you see that? I just see jitters.
Oh, I ran
Yeah.
right by them and somehow missed them both.
Hmm.
Crazy. It really is night and day. Yeah, it's hard to imagine 2 places more diametrically opposed.
What's wrong, you two?
Oh, we were just talking about how different this place is to Jirai. Jirai is super lively, but this place, I think Crow's having withdrawals now that he's somewhere without easy access to casino at all times.
I can imagine. It seems like everyone's talking about Jirai these days, though. Is it really that amazing?
It was. I didn't know what to expect with the recent annexation by Arabonia, but everything looked fine to me. It has offices, an entertainment district, and all the people I saw were thoroughly enjoying themselves. I'd go as far to say that they're happy to be under the Imperial government's control. I don't know if I'd go that far.
Oh?
A little bird told me Chancellor Osborne was the one behind the annexation in the first place. He had also told me he used some pretty forceful tactics to get them to agree. And of course, most of their tax money takes a brand new detour straight into the Imperial government's pockets. I wouldn't be surprised if he made the annexation happen just to fatten his pocketbook. But paying taxes is the citizen's duty. It's only natural that they do so now that they're under Arboni's protection, right?
Sounds like this is a pretty complicated issue. And so, of course, we run away.
That is a whole lot of politics talk that we don't want to be involved in.
I mean, that's the thing with this, like, especially the Cold Steel games. They are very much like, they don't necessarily get political in real world sense, outside of accidental comparisons. But it is very much about the politics behind everything. There's a lot of politics in the Cold Steel series. And it also ties very, very nicely together. Like, it's not there just for the sake of wanting to make something with a political thing in there. It actually ties very, very well into the overall story. It makes sense. Wow.
I get it. I'm just saying that that's a political talk that Rin is like, nope, no thank you.
Yep. I get it. It's more of, I guess that's probably just more of a general disclaimer for the series as a whole for people. Not necessarily you guys, but
It's
just for people in general.
complicated.
Yeah. It is. It's like the disclaimer at the beginning of TV shows that this is a work of fiction. Any relation to real world names and events are purely coincidence. Can't believe the size of this place. Random guard, go!
Oh, given that uniform, you must be one of the students from Thor's.
Valley Boy.
Feel free to look around all you like, but try to stay out of our way. We're all incredibly busy at the moment. So if you don't mind, I'd ask you to make your way to the corridor over there instead of hanging around here. Ugh.
Understood. Thank you very much. I'll head over there. Whee! Let's go talk to William.
Guess you can't see it from here after all. We'd be able to see it from where the railway guns are, but they'll get mad if I get too close to them.
What are you up to now, Milliam?
You know that huge Orcus Tower where they're holding the trade conference? I'm trying to get a good view of it.
Oh yeah, they mentioned it in the Imperial Chronicle and on the radio. Can you actually see it from all the way up over here? That'd be incredible.
Would I ever lie to you? Don't answer that. Don't answer that. I wish I could have gone with Gramps instead of being stuck on some stupid field study.
Why'd you join Class 7 then? Speaking of which, they're going to be holding the keynote session there tomorrow. Wonder what they'll be talking about during it.
Most people are thinking it's just so they can decide on finance roles and stuff for Western Zemuria. But I think it's really gonna end up being about who Crossbell belongs to. Knowing Gramps, he might even try to get Crossbell to become a part of Erebonia.
I mean, she's part of the intelligence division. She would know.
Seriously?
The prince is gonna be there too, so he'll probably just try to shake everybody up a bit.
Unbelievable. I was there too, though, so here's hoping things go well.
I don't think Milliam can lie to, even if she tried.
This fortress is the very definition of oversized. And that's ignoring the excessive display of military power. I imagine that the posturing is meant to show to the Crichton Provincial Army that they could crush them on a whim. I forgot what this place probably means to you and your family. I suppose. While I don't agree with my father's actions, I can't say I'm comfortable with this fortress's presence either. In fact, I find it hard to believe that anyone could stay peacefully near a fortress like this. Gaius, are you okay?
I'm just kind of shocked by how different the atmosphere here is from Zender Gate.
Well, it is a major military base right on the border of Crossbell. Never imagined it'd be quite this big, though.
This place is such a departure from Zender Gate that I can hardly believe that this is the same military. Although, perhaps this is the true face of the Imperial Army.
Hmm.
Hmm.
This
This is-
bulletin is to inform all Thor students that preparation for today's military exercise are now complete. Please assemble in the hangar immediately. Your transport is standing by. I repeat. Maybe not. That
That's-
should have been you.
Yep.
Sorry.
That's okay. I wasn't aware of. I didn't know who it was for sure off the top of my head either. So that's Instructor Nightheart. Time must have passed more quickly than I thought. I suppose I should start making my way toward the hangar. I will run into the others on my way. Board the armored cars and set off toward the proving grounds.
They look like little stag beetles.
Inside of the armored cars, narrow and cramped, and the smell of machine oil. Ew. Pressure can rattled. That makes sense. Eventually, after enduring 10 minutes of jaw-rattling travel, unable to peek outside, he arrived at the proving grounds.
Oh, this one's me.
Wow, oxen main battle tanks.
There are plenty of older model tanks out there too. It even looks like they have airships here. Oh yeah, like the ones we saw in Nord.
I'm assuming this is he welcome? Oh, I know who this is. This is Elliot's dad, I think. Oh,
That would make sense.
Elliot's dad and the commander. So that's Elliot's dad.
I don't see the family resemblance.
Looks like their hair made the jump from father to son, though.
That's not the commander. That's a different guy. Reporting, Lieutenant General. All right. Xander, do you want to be this guy or do you want me to be him? Is there any one person that's ahead or behind between us?
Not between you two.
feel like the model of the guy behind him looks familiar for sure, of course, too.
Yeah, it's the same model as the jerk commander from the Kreutzen army.
You're right. It's the mustache.
It's just hair dye. It's a different hair, but it's the same model. They just changed the color of the skin of the hair.
Nice.
I'll be Olaf. Very good, Neidhart. And Instructor Valestein, I believe. Pleased to meet you.
Sorry, Sarah's taking notes. Okay. It's an honor to make your acquaintance, Lieutenant General Craig. Allow me to extend my deepest thanks for agreeing to cooperate with us for the Academy's curriculum today.
Think nothing of it. Many of these fine youngsters may one day hold positions in the Imperial Army, after all. Besides, I owe a lot to old General Van Dyke. And these must be...
What a piercing stare.
So this is Craig the Red. Elliot, my boy, it's so good to see you again.
Oh my god.
Huh?
He's a gigantic puppy dog.
Must be half a year now since I last saw you. How have you been? It's a sharp-looking uniform you've got too. I've seen the photos, but it looks even better on you in person. Dad, come on. You've still got a long way to go if you want to put on some real muscle. Part of me that hopes you'll stay in my little chair forever. Your men of Erebonia and the men of the Empire must be strong, stout, and ready for action. It was for your own good as a man that I held back my tears and enrolled you in the military academy. Dad, I can't breathe.
He's literally Major Hughes from The Alchemist.
I can see it.
I feel like everything I've been told about him was a lie.
That's my boy.
No, my boy. Father, help.
That's Elliot right now. Father, help.
There do seem to be some differences from the stories.
You kidding me? He seems like a cool guy.
What a delightful commanding officer you have, Major.
Words fail me. Dad, knock it off. I'll tell Fiona. Moving right along. I'm Lieutenant General Olaf Craig, commander of the Imperial Army's 4th Armored Division. I've been entrusted with the role of overseeing today's joint military exercise. Pleased to make your acquaintance.
Likewise, sir.
It's a pleasure, sir.
You've got one heck of a dad, Elliot. Believe me, I feel it in the bones. The relationship between Elliot and his dad is so funny.
He's just a gigantic puppy dog.
Only toward Elliot. He is the strictest person, like... He is like Vander toward everybody else but Elliot. Also his daughter. He is like... His daughter scares him. It's very funny. Now, let me give you a brief rundown of what will be happening. This exercise will consist of a simulated battle conducted by 2 of our armored divisions. Armored regiments at the formation center, infantry, armored cars, and airships will work in tandem, using their maneuverability to the fullest to obliterate the targets. As our targets today, we'll be using previous model tanks that have been decommissioned from service. Autopilot functionality will allow them to evade and return fire, but they've only been armed with paint bullets. However, all other regiments taking part in today's exercise have been equipped with live ammunition.
So you intend to actually destroy the other tanks?
Huh. Would hardly be a live fire exercise if we didn't. The current time is 1400 hours, right on schedule. We'll now begin today's joint military exercise. Armored Divisions 4 and 5 commence combat operations. Glory to the Empire and the Imperial Army. Begin. Alright, Xander, you gotta do that guy's
Okay.
voice again.
Which guys? Well, I don't even know what the voice was.
It was like the Italian, like, he was the commander of that Kreutzen army. He had the, like, Armored Division, like the,
Oh,
I
like
can't-
the like French accent.
yeah,
It
yeah,
was
I
like
guess,
pompous-y too.
yeah.
Kind of thing? First Armored Division, Armored Regiment will advance first. Armored Car Regiment and Infantry Regiment follows the lead.
4th Armored Division, Armored Regiment, and Infantry Regiment advance together. Armored Car Regiment, deploy to the left and right. This would be so loud.
Mm-hmm.
Also, what was the point of the field trip except for watching this? You're not learning really anything. You're just watching.
This is, but then the
Wow.
next 2 days are like lectures by different people in the military.
Okay.
Or I guess next day and a half, technically. Amelia.
Sorry.
Wow.
It's certainly potent.
So this is the kind of firepower it takes to fight a modern war.
You said those tanks are called Oxens?
Yeah, they're a type of main battle tank the Reinford Company developed 2 years ago. I've seen their spec sheets, but seeing their power firsthand tells you what numbers and decimal points don't.
They might be the strongest heavy tanks on the continent.
And the Imperial Army's got a couple hundred of those in the wings, huh? That's kind of crazy.
You try fighting things like these head on, you won't stand a chance. That's as true for our own nation as it is for others.
I just can't get used to this. Just the sound of the artillery firing is enough to make you start shaking. I don't think that's something you should get used to. I mean, the sound of guns in warfare ever stop bothering you, I'd be worried. Green. I guess this is another kind of strength. Test came to an end. 4th Armored Division, led by General Craig, withdrew to encampment. Meanwhile, we returned to the fortress where Major Nightheart outlines the results. After that,
Well, this is the one you just had before, I think, Mira. Well, it's the same. It looks like the same model.
it's the same model, so why not?
Sorry you had to wait for us to finish.
Don't worry about it. We're the guests here after all.
Thanks for your consideration.
Sorry, I completely blanked. This is not me.
No, this is the blue-haired one, which is a lot like the guy that was at the fortress that Xander voiced.
Yeah.
One who died?
Yes, actually.
Let's say. Like, only one of our voices was the one who died.
Yeah, it's the same
There's
model
a British
because
guy and there's a higher nasal guy, so I pick one, I guess. Yeah.
At the very least, I'd say dinner's a million times better than lunch was. I mean, it's hash beef day.
Woo.
that's an Imperial Army tradition, isn't it?
Ooh, just the smell's making me hungry. Oh yeah, where'd your instructor go? She's a real looker. I was hoping to get a chance to talk to her.
She went to see the fortress commander with Instructor Nightheart.
She did ask us to eat without her tonight.
Oh, right. Well, if she's with Major Nightheart,
It's hard to compete with those guys from the 4th Armored Division. It'd be enough if they had just had Crag the Red, but they've got the Major too, and he's kind of scary.
Like a division of Muscle Man.
Anyway, we shouldn't keep you tied up any longer. Your hashed beef's gonna be cold or something, I guess.
see you tomorrow, guys.
God, could you believe the person who's in control of the controller skipping past my line?
I didn't do it.
Then
Wow, it's
Over.
actually delicious.
it's like night and day compared to what we had for lunch.
You're telling me.
Usage just can't be happy. I can't speak words.
You think you guys might have had a bit too rosy of an outlook? What were you expecting to see out there? I'm sure you can understand at least a little of how we feel. It's like, has everything we've learned in our time at the academy been for nothing?
You skipped one of Mira's lines again.
I did not. It's moving on its own. I don't know why.
Suspicious.
I wonder if I have a stuck button. We have to take my controller apart and clean it.
Likely slurry.
Mm-hmm. Academics, the arts, individual skills in combat. None of those mattered in the slightest in the real warfare, do they?
It's true. If all you're looking to do is fight a war, you don't need any of those.
All you need is plenty of troops to your command, the latest weaponry, and overwhelming firepower. Assuming you know the tactics to use them well and a strategy that employs them effectively, I suppose.
The Oxens are even more powerful than I was expecting them to be, too. I remember my mother boasting about their capabilities when she was trying to sell them to the army 2 years ago, but...
To be honest, I'm feeling somewhat disheartened as well. I can't see there being a place for swords on the battlefield with weapons like those on the front lines.
Well, I don't think that means individual combat skill doesn't matter at all. Still, I think maybe we've been misunderstanding something important all this time. What we saw in that military exercise today was power in its purest form. It has no morality of its own. It exists to bring about a result, regardless of the ideals or principles of those who wield it.
That's true. In a sense, the same could be said of a sword of a gun. Of a sword or a gun. Can't speak.
You sort of a gun.
And all the way on up to something as huge as Guerrilla's railway guns, too.
I think I finally understand why they wanted us to watch the military exercise in the first place.
They could have taught us in a less roundabout fashion. I mean,
Well, looks like you didn't wait for me to start the party.
yeah, I was like, come on, who else?
You kind of told us to eat without you.
Instructor Sarah?
So you spoke with the commander?
Sure did. I've got up-to-date info on the trade conference, too. As well as the latest on the terrorists. So there's new information about the Imperial Liberation Front? Anyway, before I get to that, let me explain what you'll be doing tomorrow. In the morning, you're scheduled to participate in the Imperial Army's physical fitness training. In the afternoon, you'll be attending a special lecture where I'll bring you up to speed on that info I just mentioned. After that, you've been granted special permission to view the railway guns.
I see. Looking forward to that.
Sounds like we've got a pretty packed schedule.
Well, we did bring you all the way out here, so we might as well make the most of it. Every nation possesses power in the form of a military, whether that military is large or small. Gorelia Fortress just happens to have that power in a very striking, easy to understand form. As students of a military academy, you have an obligation to know the scale of the power. The Empire of Erebonia wields at present a power you might one day be in charge of yourselves.
What?
Anyway, even a meeting that long couldn't keep me from trying the famous hash beef rice. I've heard it's the only decent food they have around here, so I've been looking forward to this all day.
We should probably finish eating.
Yeah, though it's gotten a bit cold now. Maybe I'll go ask for seconds. Oh, Eustace! If you don't want the rest of yours, can I have it?
I'd sooner throw it away than give it to you.
You're gonna end up being her big brother, whether you want to or
Honestly,
not.
no. She just is like taken to him and attached herself to his
Absolutely.
graces, good or
Because
not, you
she
know?
is
Also,
like the
As a side
antithesis
note-
of him.
as a side note, I'm trying to write my post campaign thing a little bit. And I tried writing theurgy on my iPad. Do you know what this fucking thing just auto-corrected to?
Thaumaturgy?
Theology?
Nope.
Theurgy, you said?
Theurgy. Theurgy.
The orgy?
No. Although, not
That's a
bad.
good guess, though. Yeah.
It auto-corrected to they're gay.
I can see that.
And I'm
Okay.
just sitting here like,
Hmm.
well, not this group. This group's
No.
not gay. At
I
least
can see
don't
how it
think
would
so.
do that.
At least I don't think they are. Maybe Huel is. I don't know. Anyways, it was just like, well, maybe, but that's not what I'm trying to write.
I got this one.
You got this one? Okay.
Okay, that should do it. All right, that covers today's quota.
Phew. I'm looking forward to a nice long bath.
Well, you know how every time there's a military exercise coming up, the workload gets pretty crazy like this. Still, there's at least managing inventory has gotten a lot easier thanks to the orbital net.
They've got everything hooked up on the network over in Crossville, right? Wish the Empire would get on that a bit more. Think of the utility.
Well, from the sound of it, we need special equipment to send signals through a wired connection to make use of it. And considering the size of the Empire, it's probably going to be quite a while before it's a widespread thing here.
Huh?
An old mail.
An
Looks
orb
like,
man? Oh, sorry,
it's-
that's you.
looks like it's from HQ.
I didn't see the little triangle on the bottom.
Oh, you gotta be kidding me!
This right here is the problem with the orbital net. No such thing as off hours when they can just send you orders around the clock. There are 3 of you in this frame with the same model.
Mm-hmm.
If you look, actually, they're
Actually,
all.
they
yeah,
are
it's
all
two
the
different
variation
models.
of two models.
I was about to say it's
Oh,
three,
you're right.
three of one
Oh,
model,
no.
three of
They're
one other
I
triplets.
got
model.
this one.
It's
I
two
got
sets
this
of
one.
triplets.
Jeez.
I got the middle one in the back, okay?
Oh, okay.
Ha! What's going on?
When did Toad get here?
Just now.
All right.
Can you see? My eyes. Anyway, sorry. This doesn't hurt my voice, by the way. It's great.
So get this. They're planning on doing some extra exercise tomorrow.
That means we gotta outfit 20 oxens with C units by tomorrow. 20!
Seriously?
Like,
Might as well start up another pot of coffee. We're in for an all-nighter for sure. You know?
do we have that many C units left? Yeah, that's accurate.
This one's D's one.
Yeah.
Original one.
Yeah, she was typing in.
Actually-
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're good. You're good.
Another lot came by freight just this evening. Exactly 20, if you can believe it.
Guess we'll just have to get it done.
Crap. At least let us take a shower.
I'm gonna head down to the mess hall and grab some snacks. You want anything?
Want some mushrooms, Toad?
Yes. I like the super mushrooms.
Is that cannibalism?
No. It's the mushroom kingdom. We only eat mushrooms.
You know?
I'd be dead.
He does have a point. Same.
I'm gonna go rate Lost Initiative now.
Okay.
If I had to survive, I could eat mushrooms. I don't hate them that much.
Bleh.
I can't stand the texture.
Bleh.
Not
Yep.
great, but like I could eat them.
Have a good night, everybody. Be back tomorrow for Curse of Strahd D&D. Bye.